Here I am, the director of the Lone Star International Film Festival, sitting with my friend Todd Camp, the head of the programming committee, among other things, and a board member. Also the director of the Q Cinema, a very successful local film festival for gay and lesbian cinema. And let's see, what should I ask you? Do you think we've got a chance in hell of pulling off this film festival this year?
A question I've heard many times, actually, from several people in the room. And the answer I've given is certainly. Fort Worth, I think, has always had a strong interest in film. Unfortunately, Dallas has always kind of been the city that, with four independent film screens there, they've always had a lot more options than we have. I do think that Fort Worth could not only support a film festival, I think that we could support an independent film house, an art house, if people would build it.
Yeah, the non-profit Cinematheque, I think, would be my ultimate aim. 365 days a year, you can go into a darkened theater and see a weird movie and have your life changed. Or at the very least, get away when you're running from a bank robbery. Or after having killed the president. There's got to be a place that you can go to merge into the darkness.
Well, there's always been I think the people here have always had appreciation for independent film. I mean, it's only become more interesting because independent film has now become mainstream film. With Oscars and a lot of the other awards, a lot of the big indie houses are now major studios.
Yeah.
Miramax, you can hardly call Miramax an independent film studio.
Right. And that's why we've got this new mumblecore thing, the Slacker Betties movement, which seems to be coming out of Fort Worth as much as any other place because of James Johnston at the Spiral Diner. Have you seen his movies? Yeah. What do you think? Have you seen the new one?
I haven't seen the new one.
Goddamn motherfucker.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's actually, it's like GDMF. It's called. He doesn't have the balls to actually say the name.
Well, this is Fort Worth.
Yeah, but it's a great movie about a girl who's like a stripper that goes to a bachelor party and she goes into a room with an older man and starts to give him a blowjob and discovers it's her father.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one.
It was really good. And then they had, they cried and they yelled and they screamed, and it's really good.
Well, I think that, the fact that, for example, the fact that Q Cinema has been around for 10 years, that Fort Worth, the city that's known for being conservative and the South and Cowtown, could support a gay film festival for 10 years, I think is a testament to the fact that they're ready for independent cinema.
Do we know for certain that Fort Worth is a conservative town?
I think that our reputation is conservative. I think that, honestly, there are probably a lot of people that vote Republican who want to blast into it. I think Fort Worth is a live and let live town.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't care what you do. It's like,
that
more
is
so than Dallas.
Yeah. That's a liberal value, where during the guy who wanted to bomb Hanoi, what was his name? He's Republican, he wanted to ban Hanoi, but now he's considered a moderate. The guy from Arizona. What was his name? The great last libertarian Republican, moderate Republican. I can't think of his name. We'll move on from that. Edit that. So, what's the best movie you saw?
Wow, I'm trying to think. I see so many things, it's hard to narrow it down. It's always a tough one to come up with.
The best Bill Paxton movie you ever saw?
My favorite, although Weird Science is one of my all-time favorite movies ever, and I can literally quote every line of dialogue from that movie to this day. If I had to pick a favorite, I would say Near Dark, just because I think it was one of those movies that I thought, I remember seeing it with Mike Price. It was literally the two of us in an empty theater watching this movie. And I think we turned to each other at the end and said, that's about as close to a perfect movie as I think as I've seen in a while.
Wow.
And it was just, there was something magical about that movie. It was so much fun. It was a vampire movie without being a vampire movie, without ever saying the word vampire, ever. And I just thought it was genuinely enjoyable. movie, and it was so great to see Bill do something kind of
Did you read the New Yorker review with Pauline Kael
of Near Dark?
where she called him the new Jack Nicholson based on
based on Near Dark?
Yeah.
Based on
and she was
looking good.
She was serious. You know, she didn't like to give quotable lines.
Right.
She tried to avoid writing things that people could take out and then put on us. So she would always qualify them in such a way that you couldn't manipulate them. But she came out and said Bill Paxton is the new Jack Nicholson. Which went straight to his head.
Oh yeah.
And it just like exploded.
Well, Bill, the one thing I've known Bill for years. Obviously, I haven't known him as long as you have, but I've known him since college. And when Weird Science was out, and I've written a lot about some of the smaller, weirder films that he's done that they have not got critical appeal.